Yes, there's much to celebrate in Mozambique, but let me give you even more reasons to smile. This story comes from India. Benny Mallory is an expert backhoe operator who dug fish ponds for a living in Minnesota. Then God introduced him to the needs of children in India, and Benny became one of God's fishermen. Watch this.
Benny Mallory's story may have begun in Minnesota many years ago, but his story didn't really unfold until he fulfilled his lifelong desire to help orphans. Mallory has always loved children, and his dream was to operate an orphanage. Now, he's been given the chance to help build a school and orphanage in Jaipur, in the Indian state of Orissa.
When I came here and got around the children of Jaipur in this school, I knew that I was where I was supposed to be. This has been my journey of a lifetime.
Mallory's journey of a lifetime has molded him into the person he is today. At 65 years old, he says he spent his entire life trying to fit into a religion. He is a recovered alcoholic and now sponsors AA newcomers and gives talks around the United States. He says AA is a spiritual program, and today he leads a spiritual life. Mallory says in his book, Lessons of Earth School, that his fear of God has been transformed into a love of God, and he's learned the difference between religion and spirituality. When Mallory was offered the chance to help build an orphanage, he was fulfilled in a way he hadn't known before.
I've never been more happy or excited in my whole life. I just dearly love these little children, and I see them out in their primitive village where these little kids are starving to death, and they're completely uneducated, and especially the girls, they have no opportunity in life, absolutely nothing.
Mallory's opportunity to help these children began with a phone call. He builds fish ponds for a living in Minnesota. One day, Garwin McNeilis, a local businessman, called him about his services.
I got to know him, and the very first meeting, he answered his phone and he was talking about orphanage. And my ears perked up, and at that time I knew it was very spiritual and that our meeting was not about fish ponds. I knew that.
Several years went by before McNeilis extended an invitation for Mallory's help, but Mallory knew it was an answer to prayer. He would help build a school and orphanage in India, and he was ready. His background in construction and landscaping made him a perfect fit for the Jaipur campus, but Mallory serves a dual role. Besides his professional abilities, the students have a loving Christian role model, something that is new to most of them.
And every time I get a chance, I hug a little kid, and I try to give them some kind of a trinket or something, just so that they can feel what love is, because it's a new experience to them. And then whatever I give to the little kids, I receive tenfold, and I know I do. So I just can't put it into words what this journey is.
Even after several visits to India, Mallory can't leave it behind. He lives it. On one of his visits, he stayed in Jaipur for several months. Now he spends months at a time in India.
In the summer months when I'm back home, I give talks around the country, little presentations on India and the schools, and I try to line up sponsors. Sponsorship is so important. See, if we don't have sponsors, we don't have kids. And I sponsor kids myself here, and even some of the older ones to go to college. So, yeah, that's the key word, is sponsorship. And I'm so grateful for God for allowing me to be part of that.
As Mallory's journey continued, he felt compelled to give his life to God. He was baptized by his best friend in India.
I feel very comfortable with my Creator today, very comfortable. And so many of the fears that I've experienced through life have just disappeared since I've started working with these children in India. I know that I'm part of what's going on here, and I know that nobody can ever take that away from me. However long I'll be here or wherever I leave, I'll always have that. This is part of my being today, and it's just such a wonderful feeling. and all the people I've met here who come and donate their time, and I've met so many come here just for no other reason than love. Come here and work with these children and help, and they're such beautiful people, and that's what I've always wanted to be, see? Yeah.
And it's Mallory's love of others that keeps him coming back to India year after year.
When my wife Brenda and I were at the Jaipur school in December, Benny was there. And Brenda caught him on camera. I love the photograph, especially for the way it shows Benny's love for children. One man in love with God, reaching out to the little ones who need God's love.